They got so many copies of it.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I request Imam Dibbar Sahib to come and have a seat with us. We're going to start the program. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We're going to start our Jalsa Yom Musleh. We will open the program with the recitation of Holy Quran by Dr. Naimullah Sahib. And a translation by Ilyas Ibrahim Ahmad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإذ قال عيسى ابن مريم يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله إليكم مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد فلما جاءهم بالبينات قالوا هذا سحر مبين ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله الكذب وهو يدعى إلى الإسلام والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. السلام عليكم.
Jazakumullah Sunza. I request Ilyas Ibrahim Sahab for translation.
And call to mind when Jesus, son of Mary, said, O children of Israel, surely I am Allah's messenger unto you, fulfilling that which is before me of the prophecies of the Torah, and giving glad tidings of a messenger who will come after me, his name being Ahmed. And when he came to them with clear proofs, they said, this is manifest sorcery. But who does greater wrong than he who forges a lie against Allah while he is invited to Islam? Allah guides not the wrongdoing people. They desire to extinguish the light of Allah with the breath of their mouths, but Allah will perfect his light, however much the disbelievers may dislike it. He it is who has sent his messenger with the guidance and the religion of truth, that he may cause it to prevail over all other religions, however much those who associate partners with Allah may dislike it.
Jazakumullah Sunza. Now we have a poem, Nazm by Irfan Badai Sahab, and Yahya Nasir Sahab will do the translation.
Assalamu alaikum. A poem by Hazzard Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad al-Musleh al-Maud. दुश्मन को जुल्म की बरछी से तुम सीना दिल बरमाने दो, ये दर्द रहेगा बन के दवा, तुम सब्र करो वक्त आने दो। ये इश्क वफा के खेत कभी खून सींचे बगैर न पंपेंगे, ये इश्क वफा के खेत कभी खून सींचे बगैर न पंपेंगे। इस राह में जान की क्या परवाह, جب سونا آگ میں پڑتا ہے، جب سونا آگ میں پڑتا ہے تو کندن بن کے نکلتا ہے، پھر گالیوں سے کیوں ڈرتے ہو، دل جلتے ہیں جل جانے دو، یا صدق محمد عربی ہے، یا صدق محمد عربی ہے، یا احمد ہندی کی ہے وفا، باقی تو پرانے قصے ہیں، باقی تو پرانے قصے ہیں، زندہ ہے یہی افسانے دو، جو سچے مومن بن جاتے ہیں، جو سچے مومن بن جاتے ہیں، موت بھی ان سے ڈرتی ہے، تم سچے مومن بن جاؤ، تم سچے مومن بن جاؤ، اور خوف کو پاس نہ آنے دو، دشمن کو ظلم کی برچھی سے تم سینہ و دل برمانے دو.
جزاکم اللہ وسلم الجزا. Now I request Yahya Muhammad Sahab to come and do the translation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Title of the poem is The Enemy of Tyranny, written by Hazzard Musleh. Our enemies are attacking with weapons of tyranny, but it will not heal with time. The fields of love and devotion towards Islam will not be fruited without sacrifice of your blood. Your life is nothing in this world. Don't worry about abuses because it will make you more pure. If you put gold in fire, it becomes more pure. There are only two things in this world now. One is the truth of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the love of the promised Messiah alayhi salam towards the Holy Prophet and Islam. Even death is scared of the true believer, Mu'min. Try not to be afraid of anything. Alayhi salam.
Jazakum Allah khairan jaza. Now we're going to listen to the words of Peshgoi Musleh Maud, and I request Lukman Raja Sahab to come and read the prophecy in Urdu language.
السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ.
وعلیکم السلام.
پیشگوئی مسلح ماؤد کے الفاظ. بإلہام اللہ تعالی و اعلامہ عز و جل۔ خدائے رحیم و کریم بزرگ و برتر نے جو ہر چیز پر قادر ہے مجھ کو اپنے اعلام سے مخاطب کر کے فرمایا کہ میں تجھے ایک رحمت کا نشان دیتا ہوں، اسی کے موافق جو تو نے مجھ سے مانگا، سو میں نے تیری تضرعات کو سنا اور تیری دعاؤں کو اپنی رحمت سے بپایہ قبولیت جگہ دی اور تیرے سفر کو تیرے لیے مبارک کر دیا۔ سو قدرت اور رحمت اور قربت کا نشان تجھے دیا جاتا ہے، فضل اور احسان کا نشان تجھے عطا ہوتا ہے، اور فتح و ظفر کی کلید تجھے ملتی ہے۔ اے مظفر تجھ پر سلام۔ خدا نے یہ کہا تاکہ وہ جو زندگی کی خواہاں ہیں موت کے پنجے سے نجات پاویں، اور جو قبروں میں دبے پڑے ہیں باہر آویں، اور تا دین کا شرف اور کلام اللہ کا مرتبہ لوگوں پر ظاہر ہو، اور تا حق اپنی تمام برکتوں کے ساتھ آ جائے اور باطل اپنی تمام نحوستوں کے ساتھ بھاگ جائے، اور تا لوگ سمجھیں کہ میں قادر ہوں، جو چاہتا ہوں سو کرتا ہوں، اور تا وہ یقین لائیں کہ میں تیرے ساتھ ہوں، اور تا انہیں جو خدا کے وجود پر ایمان نہیں لاتے اور خدا کے دین اور اس کی کتاب اور اس کے پاک رسول محمد مصطفیٰ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کو انکار اور تکذیب کی نگاہ سے دیکھتے ہیں، ایک کھلی نشانی ملے اور مجرموں کی راہ ظاہر ہو جائے۔ سو تجھے بشارت ہو کہ ایک وجیح اور پاک لڑکا تجھے دیا جائے گا، یہ ذکی غلام تجھے ملے گا، وہ لڑکا تیرے ہی تخم سے تیری ہی ذریت و نسل ہوگا، خوبصورت پاک لڑکا تیرا مہمان آتا ہے، اس کا نام امانوئل اور بشیر بھی ہے، اس کو مقدس روح دی گئی ہے اور رج سے پاک ہے، اور وہ نور اللہ ہے، مبارک وہ جو آسمان سے آتا ہے، اس کے ساتھ فضل ہے جو اس کے آنے کے ساتھ آئے گا، وہ صاحب شکوہ اور عظمت اور دولت ہوگا، وہ دنیا میں آئے گا اور اپنے مسیحی نفس اور روح الحق کی برکت سے بہتوں کو بیماریوں سے صاف کرے گا، وہ کلمت اللہ ہے کیونکہ خدا کی رحمت و غیوری نے اسے کلمہ تمجید سے بھیجا ہے، وہ سخت ذہین و فہیم ہوگا اور دل کا حلیم، اور علوم ظاہری و باطنی سے پر کیا جائے گا، وہ 3 کو 4 کرنے والا ہوگا، دوشنبہ ہے مبارک دوشنبہ، فرزند دل بند گرامی ارجمند، مظہر الاول و آخر، مظہر الحق والعلا، کان اللہ نزل من السماء، جس کا نزول بہت مبارک اور جلال الہی کے ظہور کا موجب ہوگا، نور آتا ہے نور، جس کو خدا نے اپنی رضامندی کے عطر سے ممسوح کیا، ہم اس میں اپنی روح ڈالیں گے اور خدا کا سایہ اس کے سر پر ہوگا، وہ جلد جلد بڑھے گا اور اسیروں کی رستگاری کا موجب ہوگا، اور زمین کے کناروں تک شہرت پائے گا اور قومیں اس سے برکت پائیں گی، تب اپنے نفسی نقطۂ آسمان کی طرف اٹھایا جائے گا، وہ کانا امرا مقضیہ۔
جزاکم اللہ سمجھا۔ Now I request Ahmad Nuruddin Sahab to do the translation.
Assalamu alaikum. These are the words of the prophecy. I confer to thee a sign of my mercy according to thy supplications. I have heard thy entreaties and have honored thy prayers with my acceptance through my mercy, and have blessed this thy journey. A sign of power, mercy, and nearness to me is bestowed on thee. A sign of grace and beneficence is awarded to thee, and thou art granted the key of success and victory. Peace be on thee, O victorious one. Thus does God speak, so that those who desire life may be rescued from the grip of death, and those who are buried in the graves may emerge therefrom, and so that the superiority of Islam and the dignity of God's word may become manifest unto the people, and so that they may arrive with all its blessings, and falsehood may depart with all its ills, and so that people may understand that I am the Lord of power. I do whatever I will, and that they may believe that I am with thee, and so that those who do not believe in God and deny and reject his religion and his book and his holy messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the chosen one, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, may be confronted with a clear sign, and the way of the guilty ones may become manifest. Rejoice, therefore, that a handsome and pure boy will be bestowed upon thee. Thou wilt receive a bright youth who will be of thy seed and will be of thy progeny. A handsome and pure boy will come as your guest. His name is Emmanuel and Bashir. He has been invested with the Holy Spirit, and he will be free from all impurity. He is the light of Allah. Blessed is he who comes from heaven. He will be accompanied by grace, which shall arrive with him, and he will be characterized with grandeur, greatness, and wealth. He will come into the world and heal many of their disorders through his messianic qualities and through the blessings of the Holy Spirit. He is the word of Allah, for Allah's mercy and honor have equipped him with the word of majesty. He will be extremely intelligent and understanding, and will be meek of heart, and will be filled with secular and spiritual knowledge. He will convert 3 into 4. It is a Monday, a blessed Monday. A son, delight of the heart, high-ranking and noble, a manifestation of the first and the last, a manifestation of the true and the high, as if Allah has descended from heaven. His advent will be greatly blessed and will be a source of manifestation of divine majesty. Behold, a light cometh, a light anointed by God with the perfume of his pleasure. We shall pour our spirit into him, and he will be sheltered under the shadow of God. He will grow rapidly in stature and will be the means of procuring the release of those held in bondage. His fame will spread to the ends of the earth, and the people will be blessed through him. He will then be raised to his spiritual station in heaven. This is a matter decreed.
Jazakumullah Jazaal. Now I request Sayyid Nasir Ahmed Saab that he can go over to a prophecy of Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Assalamu alaikum. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد عن عبد الله بن عمرو رضي الله تعالى عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ينزل عيسى ابن مريم إلى الأرض فيتزوج ويولد له. The Holy Prophet Hazzard Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu narrated that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Isa, son of Mary, will descend, then he will get married, and offsprings will be born to him. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, Subhanallah al-Azim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
Jazakumullah Jazaal. Now we're going to have our first speaker, our respected Imam Dibba Saab, and he's going to speak the background of the prophecy of Musleh Maud.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du fa'udhu billahi minash shaytanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. It's another opportunity for us to sit together today to remember the fulfillment of a grand prophecy that Allah Almighty revealed to the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam. But on a day like this, it's also important to remember or to understand the background to this prophecy, how this came about. So the entire mission of the Promised Messiah ﷺ was to establish the truth of Islam in the world, as the Holy Quran makes it very clear to us. And that included the character of the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and the message of Islam through the Holy Quran. So in these early years, the Prophet ﷺ wrote Ahmadiyya, which was his first series of books in defense of Islam and in the honor of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Because of the way Islam was understood in those days, the character of the Holy Prophet ﷺ was being attacked, and the Holy Quran and Islam itself was under the microscope when people were raising all sorts of allegations. So the Prophet ﷺ started writing Ahmadiyya, which stood out amongst all literature that were ever to be published in defense of Islam. And it made the enemy subdue and in some cases even accept defeat. But as we know that mankind we are such that sometimes theological arguments aren't enough. Allah Almighty intervenes and shows miracles and signs in support of His messengers. So the Prophet ﷺ was going through that phase when he completed writing Ahmadiyya, and the staunch enemies of Islam started asking him to show them signs of his truth and of the truth of Islam. The Prophet ﷺ, like all prophets of God, would say to them that signs do not come from man. And this is something that even the Holy Prophet ﷺ, the Quran tells us, that when they demanded signs over and over, he would tell them that a sign will only be shown when Allah Almighty Himself decides to show a sign. So the Prophet ﷺ continues to pray in anguish for God Almighty to reveal and convince these people about the truth of Islam. But he said to them that I can show you no signs unless Allah Almighty Himself showed a sign. So it was during this period that the enemy continued to insist that Allah Almighty Himself revealed to the Prophet ﷺ and ordered him to go and travel to Hoshiarpur and to take part in what is called Chilla, and that is to go into seclusion and prayer, and that a sign would be sent to him which will be a miracle for the whole world to see. So the Prophet ﷺ then traveled based on revelation from Allah Almighty to go to Hoshiarpur and to take part in this exercise, which was for 40 days, and he went with 2 of his companions. He stayed in Hoshiarpur and did the Chilla for 40 days. And when he came out, or during that period, Allah Almighty revealed the grand prophecy of a promised son to be born to him. And on the 20th of February, 1886, the Prophet ﷺ then published this revelation, which he had received from Allah Almighty, that as a sign of the truthfulness of Islam and his mission, God Almighty was going to send, or was going to bless him with a promised son. And this announcement was made on 20th of February 1886. In March 1886, the Prophet ﷺ made an announcement based on that prophecy. In March, next month, the following month, he made another prophecy, another announcement, that Allah Almighty had revealed to him that this son that would be born to him would be born within 9 years. So a period of 9 years was given for this son to be born. And then after March 1886, in April 1886, the very next month, the Prophet ﷺ was blessed with a daughter, and she was named Ismat. But then she passed away later in 1891. So after Ismat was born, now again there was a period of 9 years that was given for Musleh to be born. And of course the enemy made some noise, but they made more noise in 1887 August, when a son was born to the Prophet ﷺ. The very next year in August, Allah blessed the Prophet ﷺ with a son, and he named him Bashir. and he later became known as Bashir Awal. So people started writing to the Prophet ﷺ letters for him to make an announcement that now the prophecy has been fulfilled because I've been blessed with a son. Numerous letters came from well-wishers and members of the community. But the Prophet ﷺ told them that I am in no position to make that claim, even though a son has been born to me, but Allah Almighty has not told me if this is that son or not. So I'm not going to make any announcement. So he never made any announcement to say that Bashir al-Awwal was al-Musleh Maud. So he remained silent and never made any announcement. And then later Bashir Awwal passed away in November 1888. So 1887 he was born in August. In November 1888, Bashir Awwal passed away. But again, this was part of a prophecy that the Prophet ﷺ himself had published in February in 1886 itself, when Allah Almighty told him in that prophecy that I will bless you with progenies, some will die in infancy and others will live long. So this he had made a year before anyway, and this was, in fact, the death of Bashir Awwal was a fulfillment of part of the prophecy that some of them would die in infancy. So it was not against the prophecy, but in fact it was in line with the prophecy. So when he passed away, this was when the enemy made a lot of noise about, he said a son would be born to him who would have all these characteristics as you heard from the prophecy, and now this boy has died in infancy. So Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ was not truthful. And over they kept on raising these allegations. And initially the Prophet was quiet about it. He didn't worry about it at all. But they kept on writing, and there's a lot of abuse in newspapers and publications and speeches and articles all over the place that he was not truthful. So later the Prophet ﷺ then wrote another announcement. And this part is important for all of us to remember. At this point, in December 1888, was when the Prophet ﷺ then wrote another announcement to explain to everyone that the period that has been given for the birth of Musleh Maud has been 9 years. So because Bashir Awwal has passed away, it doesn't mean the prophecy is false. We still have 7 years to go. And this announcement that he made with this clarification is what is known as Sabz Ishtihar, the green announcement. So when we talk about Musleh Maud Day, we talk about the color green and the announcement that was made. The announcement of Musleh Maud was not made on a green on a green leaflet. The prophecy was made in February of 1886, and later in December 1888, because of the allegations that were being raised, the Prophet ﷺ had to clarify to say Bashir al-Awwal was not on Musleh Maud because he would not have died. This prophecy will still be fulfilled. It was only that part that was announced, and this announcement happened to be on a green leaflet. That is what was called Sabz Ishtihar, because it was a green paper that the announcement was made on. So all the history behind the color green with regards to Musleh Maud has nothing to do with the actual prophecy. It only has to do with the clarification that the Prophet ﷺ made in December 1888. But later, again, for our younger ones to understand, Musleh Maud as Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad radiallahu anhu was actually born on 12th of January 1889. So when we sit together and we remember Musleh Maud radiallahu anhu, we are not celebrating his birthday. Yom Musleh Maud is 20th of February, because that was the day the prophecy was made and announced. Musleh Maud was born on January 12th. So when we are celebrating Musleh Maud Day, we do not celebrate on the 12th of January. We celebrate on the 20th of February. So we are celebrating the fulfillment of a prophecy which was made by, as you heard the hadith, and the revelation revealed to the Prophet ﷺ that a son will be born to him. We are being grateful to Allah Almighty for fulfilling that prophecy, to show, number one, the truthfulness of the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, because that is the actual background in defense of Islam and the Holy Quran. That was why the revelation was sent to the Prophet ﷺ in the first place. And secondly, to also show that he was from Allah, because he talked about his son to be born to him, and that son was born to him. So we're remembering the truthfulness of the Holy Prophet ﷺ and the Holy Quran, and the truth of the Prophet ﷺ when we get together in February, and historically February 20th of every year, to remember that prophecy, and not January 12th of every year, which was the day that Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad who was born. So I thought I would make this last part clear, especially for the younger ones, that we are not celebrating birthdays in any way, we're celebrating the fulfillment of a grand prophecy. Jazakumullah khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan, Imam Sahib. Now we're going to go right into the children program, and it is for the Nasrat, which is the first part. I hope they are ready, they have their mic on. In the meantime, when they're ready, they're going to call us, they are ready for their program. I will ask Salam Saab if it's possible to show the video of the Musleh Maud on the screen. And whenever the Nasrat are ready, please let us know. Okay, and then just give us 1 minute. Jazakallah.
جماعت کی حفاظت اور رہنمائی کا اہم فریضہ انتہائی خوش اسلوبی سے ادا فرمایا، اور اللہ سے خبر پا کر یہ اعلان بھی فرمایا کہ گھبراؤ نہیں، میں دیکھ رہا ہوں کہ خدا تعالی ہماری مدد کو دوڑا چلا رہا ہے۔ ان ہنگاموں کے نتیجے میں چند خوش قسمتوں نے شہادت کا اعزاز پایا، لیکن مخالفت کا یہ سیلاب جماعت کی ترقی کا ایک اور جس کا آغاز حضرت مسلح معود نے 1957 کے آخر میں فرمایا۔ نور خود نے ہاتھے میں لیا۔
وعلیکم السلام ورحمۃ اللہ۔
اور دنیا کی اکثر
Yes, we can.
اپنے مرکز کا
Just 1 second. Salam, you want to show it now or you want to show it later?
جماعت کے لیے بہت ہی کٹھن تھا۔
Show it later. Okay, go ahead. Now we're going to start with the Nasrat program, the birth of the promised son by Hina Malak.
جانی و مالی حفاظت کا انتظام کیا، بلکہ پاکستان میں جماعت کے لیے نیا مرکز بھی قائم کر دیا۔ 1 سال کے اندر دارالہجرت روا کا قیام فی الحقیقت ایک معجزے سے کم نہیں۔ بے آب و گیا ویران و بنجر سرزمین کی جگہ اب ایک سرسبز و شاداب ترقی یافتہ اور رونق شہر آباد ہے۔
Nasrat, go ahead.
قائم و دائم رہے گا، کوئی جبری قانون اس کے نام کو مٹا نہیں سکتا۔
Can you hear me?
اس بستی کا چپا چپا اس بات کا گواہ رہے گا کہ اس کا بانی صاحب عزم بھی تھا اور صاحب عزم۔
Okay, we're going to stop the video. You can go ahead now.
مخالفت کی آندیاں ہمیشہ سے خدائی جماعتوں کی تاریخ کا حصہ رہی ہیں۔ 1953 میں پاکستان میں جماعت احمدیہ کے خلاف مجلس احرار نے ایک
وعلیکم السلام ورحمۃ اللہ۔
Taiba, who belonged to a very noble family of Benu. Hazzard Nasser was considered the founder of the family, who was blessed with great in Russia. He once saw Hazrat Imam Muslim in a dream, telling him that his grandfather, Prophet Muhammad, sent him to give you wisdom, which is starting from you, and it will end at Imam Mahdi. This prophecy was fulfilled after almost 200 years when his great-granddaughter got married to the person who will eventually become the Imam Mahdi. And the result of his blessed marriage, the promised son was born in Qadian. People were anxiously waiting for a son whom the promised Messiah had prophecy about. He was still the focus of the enemy that intentions after his birth. Most famous is Laikam, who claimed that the son will die. Allah sent him into this world when only 2 months of time was left to fulfill. Allah fulfilled the promised Messiah's prophecy about the son. Hazrat Omar was blessed with a long life, and he served Islam, fulfilling every word of the parents' prophecy.
Jazakumullah Sunza. Next is Early Childhood of Hazrat Musleh Maud by Jawariya Sayyid.
Dear President, my elders, and my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam.
My name is Sayyida Junaira Nasser, and today on Musleh Maud's Day, I will tell you about Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu's early training. An Urdu phrase explains, an intelligent child shows the man inside him. Very well could explain Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu's childhood, which had innocence, but we still could see a glimpse of his glorious future. With parental training from Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salam and Hazrat Ahmadiyya and the mentor as Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I, how can this child not turn into a great man? I'll present a few brief incidents to highlight my topic. Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu narrates, once a dog came to our door as I stood there. Hazzard was in the room alone. I signaled the dog, calling, People, people. Hazzard came out in distress and said, Aren't you ashamed? The British, because of hatred, have named their dog after the name of a sincere Muslim, and you're calling them and calling the dog Tipu. Beware, never repeat it again. I was only 8 or 9 at the time, and it was the first day when the love of Tipu Sultan was established in my heart. And for those of you who don't know who Tipu Sultan was, he was a valiant fighter who vigorously opposed the British and was regarded as the Napoleon of India. Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu was taught to be obedient with love and respect. Hazrat Sayyid Fazl Shah Anhu states, one day the promised Messiah was sitting in the courtyard with almonds in front of him. I was shelling the almonds when Hazrat Mian Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, who was 4 or 5 of the age at time, came and took all the almonds and put them into his lap. Observing this, Hazzard said, Mian is very good. He will not take too many. He will only take 1 or 2, and he will put all the rest back. When Hazzard said this, Mian Sahib quickly put all the almonds in front of me and only took 1 or 2 for himself. We all know Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu's incredible command over Quran and his teaching. The root of this can be judged from this incident. Hazrat Musleh Maud Anhu narrates, the biggest lesson Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I has taught me is this, that whenever I would raise a question while reading, he would state, Mia, keep reading. Deeply ponder this question yourself at home. In the beginning, I felt that he was treating me harsher than other students, but I slowly began to realize that when Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I stated, whatever knowledge Nuruddin possessed, he has taught it. There was a delicate point hidden in this statement. A Muslim is only required to read the translation and understand it thoroughly. The rest of the knowledge comes through God-given sight. For that, one must take the necessary effort and seek it from Allah. If I had written down all I was taught by Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih I, Radiallahu anhu, then where would I have found all the answers to all these objections that are raised against Islam? Was he to live forever? No. For this reason, he taught me this formula which has been proven to be useful after his death. In conclusion, may Allah enable us to follow his footsteps of Hazrat Musleh Maud and become good Ahmadi Muslims. Ameen. I hope everybody has a good Muslim out there. Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah khair. Now the next one is Subhanallah. She will talk on early education. Hazrat Musleh Maud.
My dear sisters, brothers, and elders, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today the topic of my speech is Hazzard Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad Sahib, the promised reformer's early education. The birth of Hazzard Musleh Maud Radiallahu anhu further verified the claim of the promised Messiah alayhi salam as the reformer of the latter days. Due to this, we would figure that he was given lots of special attention, but that wasn't the case. Except for the promised Messiah alayhi salam's delight of his son finishing the Holy Quran, he was not particularly concerned in his worldly education whatsoever. As a child, Hazrat Musleh Maud suffered from ill health. Not only his eyes were inflamed quite often, but he also had complaints of liver and spleen. Because of these setbacks, he was often absent from school. But the promised Messiah was not worried. He focused more on Hazrat Musleh Maud learning of the Holy Quran and spiritual training. He was taught the Holy Quran by Hafiz Ahmad Nazpuri Sahib. When Hazrat Musleh Maud finished his first recitation of the Holy Quran, the promised Messiah held a huge celebration and also wrote a poem about it called Mahmud Qiyami. After this, Hazrat Musleh Maud was enrolled in a school of formal education and was taught Urdu by Hazrat Bir Manzoor Muhammad Sahib and English by Hazrat Maulvi Sher Ali Sahib. He learned the study and translation of the Holy Quran, studied hadith, and some medicine from Hazrat Maulana Nuruddin Radiallahu. Since his eyesight was poor, he learned these things by sitting down and listening to Hazrat Maulvi Sahib. My great-great-grandfather, Hazrat Master Fakirullah Sahib, who was a companion of the promised Messiahs, used to teach Hazrat Musleh Maud math. Since Hazrat Musleh Maud had poor eyesight, he couldn't see the blackboard clearly, so he thought it was useless in school. When Master Fakirullah Sahib complained about this to the promised Messiah, Hazzard took it very lightly, explaining to Master Sahib that God had other plans for his son and he was not going to become a common grocer, that he would need mathematics. Hazrat Musleh Maud was blessed with extraordinarily good memory. By the time he was 10, he could easily summarize entire speeches of the promised Messiah. He had such strong affinity for religious knowledge that he would sit for hours and wait for Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih I to spare some time from his busy schedule and teach him something new. Hazrat Musleh Maud even disregarded his already indifferent health in the pursuit of religious knowledge. Even though Hazrat Musleh Maud did not receive much formal education, we all know that his intellectual prowess was phenomenal. His real inclination, even from an early age, was towards religion, and this inclination was fortified by the guidance of the promised Messiah and Hazrat Khalifat al-Masih I. May Allah enable us to follow in his footsteps. Ameen.
Jazakumullah khair. Now we have the last one from the last Raat. And the topic is Support and Interest of Hazrat Musleh Maud by Himna Malak.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa salam.
The topic of my speech today is the interest and support of President Mr. Muhammad. Every person can country is for Ahmadiyya. So is President Mr. He has huge right and interest. As John may know, that in Muslim Fatima, there is Fatima for the hot delegation with a lot of activism. Not only popular in Punjab, but also in Europe. A few of the popular games were popular in football. Hazrat Musleh Maud played all these games. Whenever he saw a new sport, he would play with first-hand experience, the as he played. If there was perfect weather and he was in a perfect mood, to play a game like hockey, then he would go to the hockey field and start playing hockey. If he heard there was a cricket match, then he would go to the field to play cricket. It all depended on his mood. He did not want to play one sport over and over again. When the sport got popular in Ghaziya, then he would see him in the field playing that game. In autumn and winter, when the weather was perfect for hunting, he would be in the mountains hunting with a catapult in his hand, along with his friends. After he got an air gun, he would go hunt in the neighboring villages. When the rainy months came around, then Ghaziya would start to flood and gave Ghaziya the appearance of an island. So in these months, Hazzard Muslim would go fishing or swimming with his friends.
Jazakumullah Shunza. Salam, now the video is ready for a minute. Go ahead.
Their issues, but he did not limit himself to this area. He felt all Muslims had to be unified, no matter which part of the world they hailed from, or to whichever color, race, or school of thought they belonged. He spoke in fervent tones about the holy places of Islam in the Middle East when they were in grave danger during the Second World War. He emphatically reminded the Arab Muslims of their duties to protect the sacred lands of Islam and called on them to unite for this purpose. He gave many addresses where he stressed that the Palestine issue concerned all Muslims and urged the Muslims to unite in their sacrifices and prayers. In short, he gave such advice to the Muslims that if they were to follow it, much of their sufferings would be alleviated. On the 8th of November 1965, the movement was shook to its foundations by the demise of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II. May Allah be pleased with him. Every member of the community was overwhelmed with grief. The outstanding qualities of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II and his astonishing record of high achievement in so many fields of human endeavor all related to the revival of the faith and the supremacy of Islam over all other religions. This marked him out as a great and shining figure in the annals of the renaissance of Islam in the latter days.
ऐ फज़ले उमर तेरे औसाफ़े करीमाना.
Jazakumullah Jaza. Now we'll go back to the Itfal program, and the first young speaker is Safir Ahmed Chaudhry. He is going to speak on structure of Jamaat auxiliaries.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear elders, friends, and Afa, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. नौनिहाल ने जमा मुझे कुछ कहना है, पर है ये सर कि ज़ाये मैं पैगाम न हो. Hazrat Musleh Razi Allah Ta'ala Anhu wrote this message for us in a poem. He reminds us to listen carefully, so please listen carefully. The topic of my speech is structure of Jamaat auxiliaries. Hazrat Musleh Razi Allah Ta'ala Anhu organized Jamaat members into 5 different groups based on the age and identity. He made these groups for our benefit. How do we benefit from them? These auxiliaries help us grow stronger in practicing our religion. They help us increase our knowledge. We learn to serve others and become the best people. Now I
with this, I will now end my speech. I strongly encourage everyone to read the book Way of the Seekers. In it you will find guidance from the time you are born with the azan in your ears to the time when life ends and Allah's praises are recited. May Allah enable us to use this guidance, keep us on the path of the righteous. Ameen.
Jazakumullah Sunza. Finish our program for the fall. Now a young Khadam is going to talk about Hazrat Musleh Maud as a young man, Zubair Abadullah.
أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today my speech is a series of stories. I will narrate small events from the life of our blessed Khalifa, Hazrat Mirza Bashir Di Mahmud Ahmad, Raziyallahu ta'ala anhu. These stories have been narrated today, and I've narrated them before, and many of us have heard them. But it's important that all of us reflect on these incidents and try to learn from them to benefit ourselves. Every one of them show what an ideal man he was, and I pray that you listen closely and remember them well while increasing your love for him in your hearts. Hazrat Anwar related some of these incidents this last Friday. He said that Hazrat Musleh Maud used to say that in learning Quran, one of my greatest benefactors was Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I. Due to poor health, the Promised Messiah advised him to only learn the translation of the Holy Quran, Sahih Bukhari, and basic knowledge of medicine from Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I. Hazrat Anwar narrated several incidents from early education of Hazrat Musleh Maud. The first Khalifa told Hazrat Musleh Maud that your health is not such that you could read these books by yourself. Just come to me and I will read them out loud so that you can listen. Hazrat Musleh Maud said that in this way, Hazrat Khalifatul Masih I read the entire Quran with the translation to me in under 3 months' time and taught me Sahih Bukhari in 2 months. He taught me the basics of medicine, and this was the extent of my education. Hazrat Musleh Maud mentioned that his mathematics teacher was Master Fakirullah Sahib, and he used to solve problems on the blackboard. But since his eyesight was weak, he was unable to stare at the blackboard for an extended period of time. So he used to consider that going to this class was useless. I would sometimes go to class and sometimes I would not. One day, Master Sahib came to my father, the Promised Messiah, to lodge a complaint against me. After listening to him, the Promised Messiah responded to him by saying that, "Thank you for taking care of my son when he shows up to your class. I am happy that at least he shows up every now and then due to his ill health." Hazrat Musleh Maud then mentioned that after this I stopped going to the school altogether and I would visit the school maybe once a month. His worldly education was very limited. However, his great academic achievements and his spiritual and secular knowledge is a testament to the fact that God himself was his teacher. The Promised Messiah once said that we find such amazing religious passion and fervor in Mian Mahmud that we often make special prayers for him. I would like to share another incident regarding Hazrat Musleh Maud's Kamil Yaqeen and certainty of Hazrat Masih Maud. Hazur states that when I was about 9 or 10 years of age, I would play at home with a fellow student. There was a book lying in the cupboard wrapped in green cloth, similar to the way the Holy Quran is sometimes wrapped. It was from the time of my paternal grandfather. When I read this book, it stated that Angel Gabriel no longer descends to man. I said that this book was wrong since it descends to my father, since Gabriel descends to my father. And my friend said that he does not descend as it is written in the book. We had an argument, and in the end we went to Hazzard, the Promised Messiah, and both presented our cases. He stated that the book is incorrect and Gabriel still does descend. His love and acceptance of the Promised Messiah could not be faltered at even such a young age. Hazzard tells another story from his childhood. He says that many times I have laughed upon recalling this incident, and sometimes my eyes have been filled with tears. One night, we were all sleeping in the courtyard, and a summer storm suddenly appeared in the night sky, accompanied by a roaring thunder. During this, lightning fell somewhere close to Qadian. However, its blast was so loud that every household in Qadian thought that the lightning must have struck their house. Because of this, everybody went inside. When the promised Messiah ﷺ was going inside, I covered his head with both of my hands, so that if lightning struck, it would strike me and not him. Later, I laughed at my actions. It was because of his presence that we were protected from the lightning, not that he could be protected from us. I think that my action was no less than that of a madman. Sometimes a person is so unaware of how much he loves someone. When this type of incident occurs, he can estimate how deep and profound his love is. My fellow brothers and sisters, what love he showed for the promised Messiah ﷺ, as he was willing to, even at such a young age, give his life for the promised Messiah, a vow that we all make, but never fully attempt to fulfill. The love he had with Allah the Almighty was so sacred and beautiful, it made all those around him know that they were in the presence of a man of God. Let me narrate another story from his youth. Hazrat Sayyid Sarwar Shah Sahib Raziyallahu Anhu was an outstanding companion of the promised Messiah and a brilliant scholar, whose reputation for knowledge and excellence has spread far and wide. He stated that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II was taught by me. And so one day I asked him, Mia, your father receives revelation in abundance. Do you receive any revelation in dreams? Mia Sahib replied, Maulvi Sahib, I have many dreams. And there is one dream I see nearly every day. From the moment my head touches the pillow to the moment I wake up in the morning, I dream that I am leading an army. I dream that I am leading an army, and sometimes I see us crossing oceans to fight an adversary. And many times it has happened that if I have nothing to make the crossing with, I make a boat out of reeds, and with it I make the crossing to attack the enemy. When I heard this dream from him, the thing imprinted in my heart since then was that this man will lead the Jamaat sometime in the near future. From then on, I stopped teaching him while sitting in the classroom. I would sit him in my chair, and I would sit in his place and begin to teach him. Upon hearing the dream, I also requested him that, Mia, please do not forget me when you get older, and keep me in your loving sight. Allah showed him the incredible virtues of bravery and leadership that he would possess, and a responsibility in the future that would be bestowed on him years later. He accepted and proclaimed his destiny on the day of the demise of Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad ﷺ, next to his deathbed. When he was standing beside the deathbed of Hazrat Masih Maud, he made a powerful pledge. He said, My Lord, believing you to be omnipresent and omniscient, I make a solemn pledge that even if the entire Jamaat were to forsake Ahmadiyya, I will convey the message that you have revealed through the promised Messiah ﷺ to each and every corner of the world. He further narrates that one passes through many phases in one's life. There are phases of laziness, activity, phases of knowledge, ignorance, obedience to God, and negligence. But I feel that I was in such a phase of such alertness and deep knowledge of God that every atom in my body was party to that high resolve. I was convinced that the power and strength of the whole world held no significance. It held no significance against my resolve and determination. If the world could hear my resolve, they would certainly consider it a boasting of a madman. However, I believed that this pledge was to be my greatest responsibility. And upon making this pledge, I was convinced in my heart and soul that this promise did not lie outside of my powers. It lay within my God-given capabilities. I pray that these virtues of complete submission, love of Kalafat, taqwa, and devotion to Jamaat Ahmadiyya be instilled in us all. May Allah help us and guide us, and help us follow in His footsteps. Ameen. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Jazakumullah wa ahsanul jazaa. The next program is going to be a Jeopardy program, going to start shortly. We are getting we are the elder of the Jamaat, slowly, they are passing away. And few of us have the still sweet memories to seeing Masih II, the Muslim Maud. Some people have the honor to chat with him, shake hand with him. So please give me your names. So if you want to share 1 or 2 minutes, your personal memory about Hazrat Muslim Maud during this program. It is also the same message for Lajna side. Jazakallah. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. We're gonna start our game program, and so you're used to the Jeopardy. Can someone turn that light off, please? We're used to Jeopardy every year. For the last 10 years, we've been doing it. So now we're in a new masjid, alhamdulillah. We're gonna do something new. What are we gonna do? Kahoot. Have a seat, have a seat. Who here has done Kahoot in their school before? Raise your hand. Hopefully it's your right hand, not your left hand. Okay. Can we get the rest of that file to come here too? Okay, they're complexion good. Nasrat, can someone tap on the mic or let us know how many Nasrat on that side have done Kahoot before in school? I want to make sure your mic is working and that you can see the screen. Can you see the screen? Do you see Kahoot written on the screen?
2 minutes.
Okay, Jazakallah. So, here we go. And you have, the Nasrat have the pink tablet, Atfal have the blue tablet, and we're going to start the game. 1 second, let me get you the game pin. All right, here we go. And by the way, it is timed. It is all automated. So if you don't answer in time, you lose that opportunity. And if you incorrectly answer, there are no negative points. The kids, they know how this game works. The rest of the adults will see and observe how it's going to work out. So please put in the pin, game pin, and your team name will be either Atfal or Nasrat. All right, Nasrat made it on the board. We're waiting for the Atfal. All right, Atfal are there too. Here we go. We're going to start now. Shh. Guys, pay attention. All right, so there are 24 questions. It's asking you, are you ready? Yes. All right, first question. What is Hazrat Muslim Maud radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu's name? You have the 4 choices there. The red is Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad, blue Hazrat Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, yellow Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad, or green Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad. Punch in your answers. All right, you got the answers in. And alhamdulillah, both teams have the correct answer. And look at the score value. Why did Nasrat get 3 extra points versus Atfal? Who knows? Just say it out loud.
They did it quicker.
Yes, they did it quicker than you. So in this game, if you answer correctly, you get the points. If you answer correctly fast, you get even more points. And there are winning streaks. Since both teams won this the first question, the next question you will get extra points for. There's a multiplier built into the system. All right, so here we go. Next question. How old was he when he uttered these words at the death of the promised Messiah, al-Islam? Quote, even if all the people will leave you and I'm left alone, I will stand by you and will face all opposition. Wow, you guys are fast. You're still 1 point behind? Hold on, we'll see. Nasrat still got you beat by 1 point. But you guys are getting fast. Good, good. Here we go. Next question. When did the era of Hazrat Musleh Maud's Khilafat start and when did it end? There's the dates. And Khudam, you're welcome to pitch in. Fathers, anyone, just make sure your team wins here. All right, someone has put in an answer. We have one answer. We're waiting for. Oh, it's you guys? I hope it's the right one. So sometimes being quick, being in haste could be. Oh, okay, so the correct answer was March 14, 1914 to November 7th, 1965. Nasrat selected, I guess, the green one, I'm assuming. We'll find out in a minute. All right, alhamdulillah, Atfal, you're on fire. And check out the, okay, shh. All right, so what does it say? Atfal is streaking ahead with 3 in a row. Here we go. Next one. Which of the following, should be Majlis or Majalis, Jamaat Auxiliary Organization was founded first? There's your 4 choices. Masjid Atfal al-Ahmadiyya, Khudam al-Ahmadiyya, Nasrat al-Ahmadiyya, or Lajna-e-Ma'illah? Put your answers in, guys. Really? Okay, so we have one that's correct, and I'm assuming Nasrat got this one. Yeah, see, Nasrat, they got the points for this, but they're still behind because you guys had a winning streak, which you lost now. So now Nasrat will have their new winning streak going on. Here we go, next one, be ready. Question, Majlis Khudam al-Ahmadiyya was founded blank number of years after Majlis Lajna-e-Ma'illah. How many years after was it? If you're not sure, don't put in a guess. Find out. Ask your elders. Poll the audience. Put in the answer only when you're sure. Okay, so the correct answer was 16. One of the teams selected 2 years. Hold on, let's see. Yes, alhamdulillah, Atfal did it. Sit down. All right, next question. Pay attention. Between Majlis Nasratul Ahmadiyya and Majlis Atfalul Ahmadiyya, which was founded first? So it's between the 2 children auxiliaries. Have a seat, guys. I know you guys are super excited, but have a seat. Oh, huh? All right, so Majlis Nasrat al-Ahmadiyya was founded first. And how can you remember this for future? Because chances are I'm going to repeat this question. You guys got it wrong, so I'm going to probably repeat it next year if we do the same thing. No. The way to remember is ladies first. All right, yes, here we go. All right, so Atfal, they're still leading. But here we go. Ready? And please, if you know the answer, tell your team lead. He will punch it. Don't everyone try to put your fingers on that tablet. It's fine. Yeah, okay, here we go. Pay attention. The Liwai Ahmadiyyat. Guys, listen, the flag of Ahmadiyyat was first hoisted at what special occasion? At the start of Ahmadiyyat in 1889, at the Jalsa Salana of 1939 in Qadian, at the first Jalsa in 1891, or when Rabwa was established as the headquarters after migration. All right, so we have 2 answers in. The correct answer was Jalsa Salana of 1939 in Qadian. Just out of curiosity, who knows what else took place in that Jalsa? Well, what was the special thing about that Jalsa? Anyone knows? Doesn't have to be a father, could be anyone. The significance of that.
The Prophet reformer claimed to be the reformer.
No, that's not exactly. No. That was the 25th year anniversary of the Kalafat of Hazrat Musleh Maud. And by the way, I did not put that question in there this time because I think I had it in past years. So you might have to bring that question back. All right, Nasrat are leading right now. Here we go. Next. When did Hazrat Musleh Maud declare to be Musleh Maud? There's the years, 1914, 1944, 1947, 1989.
It's blue. No, it's not green.
Listen to Imam Sahib, he might have the answer.
Yeah, it's blue.
All right, so the correct answer was 1944. All right, Nasrat are getting way ahead. Come on, guys, pick it up. Can someone get me udhar pani kuch dukaan mein la denge?
No, but it's going to be unfair though if you start telling me.
All right, complete this often quoted phrase of a famous non-Ahmadi Muslim leader, Maulvi Zafar Ahmad Sahib. Listen attentively that you and your people can never compete with Mirza Mahmud. Mirza Mahmud has the blank and the knowledge of blank. What do your people have? You have not even read the blank. Okay, so I'm glad you guys remembered this one from past. All right. Next question. What is the name of the calendar started by Hazrat Musleh Maud? Under the direct supervision of Hazzard, this new calendar was adopted in 1930.
Probably Google calendar.
Each month in the calendar is named after important history. Guys, there's only 6 seconds left. Okay.
Green.
Yeah, Sadr Sahib said green. That is correct. So it's Hijri Shamsi calendar. What is Shamsi? Anyone knows? Yes, wherever that came from. So it's the sun. It's based on the solar.
Wow.
Yeah, you guys, the Nasrat, they have some fast fingers there. Question. Which scheme set up by Hazrat Musleh Maud radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu is responsible for managing missionaries and Jamaat? All right, looks like both of you guys, both teams got it. Wow, Nasrat are at 9,000. That's because they have a winning streak going. Don't lose your streak. Here comes the next question. Point out the incorrect item in the list. Here's the list. The promised Messiah had advised Hazrat Musleh Maud to learn 3 things from Khalifatul Masih Awwal. Point out the incorrect one. And this was covered in one of the speeches earlier. No, orange is correct.
Green.
Green is incorrect. No, 3 things. Jazakallah.
No, green is wrong.
Well, you got to listen to the question
Yes.
first.
Green is...
These kids read it before he even reads it. They're quick.
Yeah.
They're quick at it.
Especially when there's
They
a
both got it
timer.
right. Before he even read the question, they all got it.
Okay. Ready for the next one? Wow, they've crossed the 10,000. Here we go. What method of teaching did Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Awwal use for Hazrat Musleh Maud? Hazur mentioned this in the khutbah yesterday, 2 days ago.
Quick.
All right, alhamdulillah, both answers are correct. Someone's paying attention to khutbah. I hope so. All right, here we go. How long did it take for Hazrat Khalifatul Masih first to teach him the Quran with translation? You sure? Guys, Nasrat have left you in the dust. Come on. All right, next question. What was the promised Messiah's reply? Let's listen. Hazrat Musleh Maud once mentioned that his mathematics teacher at school was Master Fakirullah Sahib and used to solve problems on the blackboard. But okay. All right. Alhamdulillah. This was mentioned in one of the speech today too and in the khutbah. Oh, all right. Here we go. Ready?
Almost 5,000.
It's going to pop up the next question. When did he deliver his first public speech? Hazur mentioned this too in the khutbah. Okay, you guys pick. All right, so finally Nasrat lost their winning streak. Whoops. Okay, here's the next question. Which eye did he lose sight in during childhood? Right or left? If you're not sure, ask, guys. Okay. All right, it was left. And let's see. All right.
Oh, man.
No, it's possible. I mean, look at what it says on the bottom. Atfal has the highest answer streak of 3. So, I mean, it's possible. Here we go. What important step did the promised Messiah ﷺ take to remedy his eyesight? Did he fast for 3 or 7 days, fasted for 30 days, fasted for 40 days, fasted for 100 days? Hazzard mentioned this in the khutbah. Okay. So that is correct. He fasted for 3 or 7 days. This is what Hazrat Musleh Maud radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu recorded or narrated. All right, guys, you're not that far now. Look at the score. What does Musleh Maud mean? This one you guys should know, but make sure you get it right. The promised reformer, the promised Messiah, the promised son, the promised one.
Someone did it too quick.
No, they both did it really quick, but Atfal really got there. Okay, not that far. Here we go, guys. Pay attention. Shh. Next. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding Musleh Maud prophecy? It was first printed on green leaflet on December 1st, 1888. It was first printed on green leaflet on February 20th, 1886, or it was first printed in Riyaz-e-Hind on March 1st, 1886. Which one of these is incorrect?
Yellow. Blue. No.
What happened?
No. It's yellow.
Don't go back. You can't go back. Yeah, once you put an answer in, that's it.
This is incorrect. Which one is incorrect?
Oh, incorrect.
Yes. Murabbi Saab, I think he also talked about this.
Blue.
But the Atfal already put the answer in.
It's blue.
Yeah.
It's not
They
blue.
lost their streak again.
It's blue, guys.
No, it's not blue.
It is incorrect.
The first one is incorrect.
No. Blue.
Okay.
Okay, so unfortunately, both teams got this wrong. So the one that is incorrect is that it was not first printed on green leaflet. Murabbi Saab tried to explain this. He took some time to explain to you guys.
I think Nasrat may be disconnected somehow.
No. Red is correct.
Hold on.
Red is correct. Blue is the right answer.
Okay, so who got the correct answer?
None of them did. I think Nasrat did not answer it. They ran out.
Oh, so that's why there's only one?
No, I think Nasrat ran out of time. I think.
Nasrat, what happened? Your tablet disconnected?
Oh.
Are you reconnected? Okay.
So you give him the point or not?
I can't
Yeah,
change
that was
any
it.
points. Yeah, you can't change answers. Yeah, don't hit the back button on there. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. Shh. Have a seat. The prophecy of Musleh Maud was received by the promised Messiah ﷺ in which city? Hoshiarpur, Qadian, Rabwa, Ludhiana. One answer is in?
No.
Guys.
Red. Too late,
Okay.
though. Too late. Nasrat did it quick.
Yeah, they did it quick. All right. Ready?
Some said
Next
it in
question
1 second,
coming up.
but they didn't hear you.
This next question is very similar to this previous one, so be very attentive and careful in reading it. Here it comes. What city was he in when Allah informed Hazrat Musleh Maud? Allah told Hazrat Musleh Maud to declare to the world that he is the fulfillment of the prophecy of Musleh Maud that was given by the promised Messiah. What city was he in when Allah told him to declare this?
Come on, do it.
Yeah, all the answers are not green. I know. All right, here we go. Next one. Question. Fill in the blank. Probably a lot of reading. Referring to the referring to the importance of this prophecy, the promised Messiah ﷺ has said that this prophecy is an extraordinary divine sign which our God has granted to prove the truthfulness of blank to this world. Is it our Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ?
Hurry up, Red.
They both got it wrong. They both got
Guys,
it wrong.
please
They both
try
did
not to
something.
be hasty in this. Get the right answer. Okay, next. How many qualities were prophesied about Hazrat Musleh Maud?
52.
Fast.
52 green, quick. Oh, it's 52, guys. Come on.
10 seconds on the clock. It's counting down. Come on.
They did 313. Wow.
It's possible. I mean, these are all
Nasrat
good
didn't
numbers.
do it.
Nasrat, what happened?
I think they did.
Are you still connected? Okay, we're going to assume they are connected. They're not flying.
Just 1 second.
I think that's it.
No, just 1 second.
Hold on. Okay, your Wi-Fi disconnected?
It's connected now, but before it disconnected.
Okay, assalamu alaikum. I request all the Khuddam and Ansar, please be quiet and listen. Many of us even don't know the answer. At least we will learn something. Jazakallah.
Have a seat, guys. Shabash. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question.
I think that's it.
That is the last question? Oh, okay. Well, Barakallah alaikum. Nasrat still won. They got 16 out of 24 correct. Atfal got 17 out of 24 correct, but they were not as fast as Nasrat in the correct answers. So, and there will be cupcakes for all participants downstairs after namaz when it's lunchtime.
1 second. You got it? Okay, assalamu alaikum. Right at this time, I request Imam Sahib to give these sweets to the Tfal, and I request the Sadr Lajna that she should give the sweets to all the Tfal who participated. So, Tfal, please quiet. Be quiet. Have a sit down and come one by one, and Imam Sahib are going to give you your present. The first is Nasratul Ahmadiyya, and the runner-up are Itfalul Ahmadiyya.
Against all odds, Nasrat still became champion.
Wait, Imam Sahib, second. Okay, listen 1 second. Sit down. No, sit down. When you stand up, come to Imam Sahib, shake his hand, and we will say Barakallahu lakum, and then you will receive it. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum. Barakallahu lakum.
Come on, step on up.
Barakallahu lakum.
Get your little sister too. Come on now. Come on.
And also the young khadam with age-wise, we still have more, please come and also participate. Young khadams. Come on, get up, we got to go.
He's like, he wants you to come. We're trying to get him to come over there so I can jump him for the candy. That's right. One more there. Show yourself. One more. Show yourself.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Now we are going to share the personal contact of our elders who met the Hazrat Musleh Maud in their lifetime, and everybody is going to speak for 2 minutes. First is going to be my honorable teacher, Sharif Khan Saab, and I'll give him the mic.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Now, when my earliest recollection of his Musleh Maud was when I was about 5 years old. And we were living in Qadian, and there was the road between Reti Challa and Bishti Makbara. That was unguided due to the rain. And it was announced in Qadian that there will be a Karyamal. And we all boys, we said Sallallahu Nabiyina Sallallahu Muhammadan, and we were collected in the Reti Challa field, close to the Reti Challa. Now there was a high place from where that is the debris was to be carried to the place where which was shallow, so as to cut off the water channel. So in this way we went there, and they were the operations were organized in such a way that Khuddam had their own line, and in SARS they have their own line, and similarly the Itfaq they have their own line. Now there were people who were filling up the buckets with the debris to carry to that place, and they would hand that those buckets from one to other, and in this way there was a chain. And the Itfaq were forming a chain from the site of dumping of the debris to the site of where the debris were being filled. And we also handed over those empty buckets. And by chance, my place was just in front of where Hazrat Musleh Maud was standing. I just recall that Hazur was wearing and white shirt and white shalwar, and he was not wearing his usual coat. He was surrounded by the Khuddam, and he was also holding those buckets and emptying them into that part. And in this way, I think about 5 or 6 hours it took us this whole operation. And then there was Allahu Akbar, Hazrat Masih Maud Jai, like this. And then we returned by rehearsal prayer into our mohalla, and we were living in the mohalla Darul Rahmat at that time. Thank you very much. And these are clear, remember even now. Thank you.
Come up here.
Assalamu alaikum. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Amma ba'd. Just briefly to talk about Hazrat Khalifatul Masih II. I remember from my childhood, from age like 2 onwards, the first interaction, I had, I'll go to that later, since recently we had the exercise of the elections here in the Jamaat last week. It's an amazing story. My father was elected president of Jamaat in Multan, and he wasn't a worldly educated person. And he went to Khalifatul Masih and said, Huzur, I'm not a qualified person, I'm not a worldly educated person. And there are very many attorneys or judges, in the Jamaat who are more qualified. So you can appoint them to lead the Jamaat. Huzur said, look, I'm looking for people who are good at heart, who are honest, who fear Allah. So you go and work and I'll pray for you. And moving forward, that was like a couple of years before I was born. Then there was an uprising in Pakistan against the Jamaat. I was 2 years old and I saw the mob breaking into our house. My father was the Amir of the Jamaat, they knew. So that was the first target. So a big mob was outside. I remember I crawled on the balcony. I looked, people were standing outside. And they want to break into the house and kill people. And they looted our business also. But my father stood the ground. And when things got under some control, my dad left to Rabwa at middle of the night to inform Huzur what was happening. And all that mischief was started in that town. All the leaders from the opposition was from our town. And I have a lot of things to share, but that will be a separate talk, And then when my father reached the Qasr-e Kalafat, the house of the Khalifa, that was soon after the Fajr prayer, he saw Huzur pacing from one wall to the other. He was kind of agitated. What was happening in the country? People are being killed, businesses are being looted. People of the Jamaat are being displaced. So when he saw my father walking into the courtyard, he said, Chaudhry Sahab, everything okay? My dad said, Alhamdulillah, we are fine. None of the Jamaat member physically got hurt, So things are under control. Huzur said, you said everything is okay, but I came to know your business is looted. What you going to do? Huzur, my dad said, Huzur, we are business people. We don't know anything else. So Huzur put his hand on my father's shoulder. He said, Chaudhry Sahab, these hooligans, they do the looting, but they never take everything away. You go open up your store and there will be some leftover stuff there. You start your business there. with his prayers, I have seen that the business flourish, and he started making his living. So that was his wisdom which the Khalifa gave, And second thing is, I still clearly remember he was a great orator. I remember his speech at Jalsa 1955-56. If I'm not mistaken, that is the speech, one of the speeches of Sare Rouhani, the spiritual journey which he talked about. And it was amazing. I still don't see anybody, I can only compare them with Dr. Martin Luther King, Reverend Jesse Jackson, Imam Farah Khan, they are to that level, putting all of them together. He was that kind of. I still remember people were just silent. Not a word you could hear. And they were listening, and with his hand, everybody moved. So these were the things which I still remember. And the last thing I want to mention, like in the prophecy, is wo sakh zahin o fahim hoga. He will be extremely intelligent, and he will be meek at heart, and he will have the worldly and secular knowledge, secular and religious knowledge. All those qualities I have seen during his lifetime or my interaction from age 5 to 15. I have seen he led the Jamaat, his amazing personality. With the children, he was very loving, and I have the honor to sit with him, next to him. So those kind of things. And like worldly knowledge he had, that people talked about how the world politics is, and people didn't believe a person who's not educated, like earlier talked about, how he know about world politics. He informed the Indian government. At that time, India and China was buddies. He said, Allah has told me pretty soon there will be a problem on the northern borders of India. And that's where China moved into India, and they had a big, they basically Chinese, they just walked into India. And so that kind of knowledge he had, and he foresee things in the world arena. So I hope and pray Allah elevate his soul, and bless us with his guidance and the system of the Jamaat he established is amazing. Jazakallah.
Anybody else want to share?
I think mine is more than 2 minutes.
Okay, Zach. Anybody else? No? Anybody from the Lajna? No? Okay. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له أشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Last year we were having our Jalsa Muslim Maud in our old mosque, and I requested the Jamaat member at that time, let's make a special prayer that we will have our next Muslim Maud day in our new mosque. With the prayers and the effort of the Jamaat, Alhamdulillah, we are here, and we have achieved one more goal in the city of Philadelphia, as the Jamaat Ahmadiyya is the first one who were able to build a mosque from ground up. Very specific day today is Hazzard Muslim Maud. I just want to share one thing which I heard from my mother. She said that my father, she's talking about her father, Hazrat Hafiz Ghulam Rasul Wazir Abadi, He was a scholar and he was belonged to Ahle Hadith, Sufi which you call in America now. He has a very good feeling about the promised Messiah alayhi salam, but he didn't accept him. I'm talking about 1886 onward. So when this prophecy of Musleh Maud, and when a daughter was born and a boy was born, it was a whole agitation overwhelmingly in India that his prophecy is not fulfilled. But he at that time was in Calcutta, where he was learning about Ahl Hadith's way of thoughts. So all other Maulvis sitting with him, chatting with him, Mirza Ghulam Ahmad made this prophecy, and now we all know, Nauz Billah, he is a liar. But Hafiz Ghulam Rasul Sahib Wazirabadi told them that I have met him a couple of times and he don't tell a lie. But I will let you know for sure that whatever the baby he had born on January 12th, 1889, I will travel from here, from Calcutta, all the way to Qadian. Because he met Hazrat Masih Maud a few times before. So he traveled, he came to Qadian, and he knocked at the door of Hazrat Masih Maud and asked him that the people in Calcutta are saying that you don't have any, you have a daughter, not a boy, and you are hiding it. He says that what my mother shared with me, that Masih Maud went inside of his house, have a baby in his hand, and baby had a red kerchief on his forehead. And I just curious to know, to make sure it is a boy. So he says, I opened his diaper, which we call Lungoti at that time, and made it sure it is a boy. So then he went back to Calcutta and told those Maulvis, didn't I told you before that even I don't believe in him, but I'm sure he's a saintly person and he never tell a lie. I just share with two parts of this prophecy. First one is, वो तीन को चार करने वाला होगा, that he will change 3 into 4. There are many interpretations we have heard so far, but which one really, let me think that what is the fourth one. And that is in 1947, the partition of India and Pakistan. And those days were so dangerous in Qadian at that time, which we heard from our elders. Every night they were scared that the Sikhs are going to come and start slaughtering people there in Qadian, which is the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. But finally he made his decision to move to Lahore. All those people who followed him while he was in Qadian or moved to Lahore or Pakistan, they were all safe. But all those who scattered on the roads and going in the groups and the jatha, they have so many losses. And he came, and this place which we call Rabwa now, in 1948, he bought this land and he made the special prayer at that time for this city. So with that, there were 3 holy places so far: Makkah, Medina, Qadian, and this is the 4th one which he made. Now his prophecy, we heard all about that, but he never declared that he is that promised son. Even the people from Lahori group like to taunt him that who is among you is that Musleh Maud. is that Mahmoud Ahmad, Bashir Ahmad, Sharif Ahmad, and they keep on bothering all the people living in Qadian till in 1944. He was in Lahore and he had a revelation. Anal Masihil Ma'udu Masiluhu wa Khalifatuhu. Since that time, he made that declaration about the prophecy of the Muslim Maud that I am the one that who was foretold by the promised Messiah alayhi salam. And I am the one. There is no difference between me and the promised Messiah. Because the Revelation says, Anar Masihil Maud. It didn't say I am Muslim Maud. It's a Masih Maud. So at the part of the prophecy which talks about वो हुस्न एहसान में तेरा नज़ीर होगा, that he is exactly same identical person. A saintly person came to Qadian and he was very upset that they have elected a young man, age of 25, while we have so many scholarly people in Jamaat at that time. So he came just to investigate. And he sat and he saw Hazrat Muslim out, a young man, but he was not accepting it that he is that son which be given to a title of Muslim out. And he said, right while I was sitting, I saw a short vision that Hazrat Muslim Maud ﷺ came and he is walking toward Hazrat Muslim Maud and then he disappeared. He said, that is the time when I understood that the extension of Hazrat Muslim Maud ﷺ, his work will continue through this person, which name is Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad. And he has done so many important things which Hazrat Muslim Maud ﷺ was unable to the limitation he had at that time in Qadian. And he opened all these missions in outside of subcontinent of India, in Europe, in Arab countries, and in America. At that time, in 1920, right here he sent the first missionary, Hazrat Mufti Muhammad Sadiq, came to Philadelphia. Hazrat Muslim Maud Raziyallahu Anhu, I have my personal contact. I was a child. At the age of 6, when we used to go to Masjid Mubarak, and because as a child, as these children are running around, we just heard, that Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani is going to give the sermons. As a child, we heard his sermon. He's standing right in the middle, and two guards are on both sides, wearing a white turban. And then only on the time of Eid, he used to sit on the chair, and the adults and the children, they just pass by and shake their hand. My mother told me that she was worried about me and my sister, that they haven't met Hazrat Muslim Maud, and he's at the age of 14, and she tried her best that I should have an opportunity to meet Hazrat Muslim Maud. It was 1963 or 64, that she went to Qasr Kalafat. I'm very thankful to her. He talked to the Choti Appa and told them that my son and my daughter, they were babies and they never have opportunity to meet Khalifatul Masih. So she said, come this Friday around 11 o'clock. So it was the old Qasr Kalafat who have seen the people. So we went up the steps and Hazrat Muslim Maud was lying on a bed and he was wearing white shirt and white shalwar, and I think he was somewhat agitated, but as a child I just saw it, say Assalamu alaikum, and he just looked at us, both of us, and then we left. Important thing which I remember when he passed away, that the Jamaat elders, how much they loved him. In 1965, on that month of September, when he passed away, the whole city of Rabwa was crying. The news came late at night, and I've seen my elders in our mahalla They were all out and crying that they had a big loss. How much love and affection he has created among the people who he lived with, that they cried like a baby. I never saw my father to cry in his whole life, but I saw him crying at that time. That was the one which Allah Ta'ala in that revelation told us, Ka'annahu nazzala min as-samai. It is that God came down by himself, send him here for the guidance of Jamaat Ahmadiyya. May Allah Almighty have a lot of mercy on Hazrat Musleh Maud Raziyallahu Anhu, and all what we are sitting here is the product. And we are the witness that how a small Jamaat can reach to such a level that in Philadelphia we have seen 100 years ago, when Mufti Muhammad Sadiq Sahib came to Philadelphia, the governor at that time, William Sproul, he sent a note to the newspaper at that evening on the 15th of February that Mufti must leave. And he was still in jail at that time. And look at 100 years later, where we are now by the grace of Allah, that their efforts, that our governor was trying his best to participate in the inauguration. He sent a video message. Our mayor was here, congressmen, many officials were here at this time. And imagine 100 years ago, what Mufti Muhammad Sadiq Sahib went through. He was deported right from Philadelphia to Gloucester County, kept him there for 17 days. Nobody knew about his whereabouts. Look at this time that the promised Messiah's son, Musleh Maud, made this movement worldwide, and we're seeing its fruit. This is what we are seeing it at this time. But these children, when they grow up, they will inshallah see the victory of Islam. And it is going to happen. It is destined, our duty and responsibility, as Musleh Maud said, that your duty is to give that training to your children. Do not hesitate. Sacrifice whatever you have to sacrifice. But in moral training of your children, it is your responsibility. It is a long way job. Victory is almost 175 years more left. We have to train our children to be obedient to Nizam-e-Jamaat and then ultimately the Nizam-e-Kalafat. And there our victory lies. I hope and pray that Allah Almighty make us in a way that we train our children generation after generation till we see the victory of Islam. May Allah Ta'ala help us to do so. Hazrat Musleh Maud has said many poetry and the prayers in this regard. In one couplet he says, Har gaam par farishton ka lashkar ho saath saath, har mulk mein tumhari hifazat khuda kare. That everywhere you go, that you have the angel with you, and whichever your country you are, that you will come and see the victory of Islam. We are going to finish our program, but I request Professor Mubarak Ahmed Saab. He is the young man in 1966-67 when he wrote that poem which everybody knows in the Jamaat, Fazl-e Umar Tere or Saf-e Kareemana. And he is here with us, and I request him to come to the podium and recite that original poem which he wrote in 1967, Mubarak Ahmed Saab.
इस वक्त अहबाब की हालत हुआ है जो लड़कों की आखिरी पेट में होती है। ये 7-8 शेर पेश खिदमत है। दिस वाज written in Urdu, but I will translate it. First Urdu. ए फजले उमर तेरे ओ साफे करीमाना, ए फजले उमर तेरे ओ साफे करीमाना, बतला ही नहीं सकता मेरा फिक्रे सुखनदाना। हर रोज तो तुझ जैसे इंसान नहीं लाती, हर रोज तो तुझ जैसे इंसान नहीं लाती, ये गर्दिश रोजाना, ये गर्दिश दौराना। ढूंढे तो कहाँ ढूंढे, पाए तो कहाँ पाए, ढूंढे तो कहाँ ढूंढे, पाए तो कहाँ पाए। सुल्ताने बयां तेरा अंदाज़े खतीबाना, सुल्ताने बयां तेरा अंदाज़े खतीबाना। दुख दर्द के मारों को सीने से लगाता था, दुख दर्द के मारों को सीने से लगाता था। तू सोचता ही ना था अपना है या बेगाना, तू सोचता ही ना था अपना है या बेगाना। कुदरत ने जिन्हें बख्शा एक नूर यकीन मोहकम, कुदरत ने जिन्हें बख्शा एक नूर यकीन मोहकम। हाय वो तेरी आँखें वो नरगिसे मस्ताना। हाँ इल्मो अमल में था एक पैकर अजमत तू, हाँ इल्मो अमल में था एक पैकर अजमत तू। इस्लाम का शहदाई अल्लाह का दीवाना, इस्लाम की मशअल को दुनिया में किया रोशन, और तूने उजागर की सरगर्मी फरजाना। आबिद है दुआ मेरी महमूद के मकसद को, आबिद है दुआ मेरी महमूद के मकसद को। दुनिया में मिले जल्दी एक नुसरत शाहाना, दुनिया में मिले जल्दी एक नुसरत शाहाना। ए फजले उमर तेरे औसाफ करीमाना, ए फजले उमर तेरे औसाफ करीमाना। याद आके बनाते हैं हर रूह को दीवाना। That is translation of, O Fazle Umar, your ways of kindness with our limited understanding cannot comprehend. Person like you are not born often, nor in days, nor in ages. There is no orator in sight of your caliber and style present the whole world. You comforted people suffering in pains, never minding if they were known or were strangers. You were gifted by Allah Almighty with strong belief in Him. You had intelligent, beautiful eyes and majestic ways. You were through in knowledge and practice, was lover of Holy Quran and Almighty Allah. You lighted the world with torch of Islam in the world. You stress importance of dedication and devotedness in the world. Abid prays that the mission of Mahmud soon meets success in the world. Ameen.
Jazakumullah Sulza. And I request Imam Sahib, if you want to say a few words and conclude the meeting.
Dua. Ameen.
First we're going to have to Salatul Zuhr and Asr, then we will go down for lunch. Jazakallah for coming.
Excuse me.